Success and failure rarely come down to simple skill. Often, disaster strikes because an individual or an organization applies world-class competence to a reality that no longer exists. They execute a perfect plan, right off the edge of a cliff. The philosopher Alfred Korzybski identified the root of this stagnation with a single observation: the map is not the territory. To navigate a chaotic universe, the human brain constructs simplified internal representations. We are natural cartographers, building mental models to predict outcomes and make decisions in a world that is otherwise too complex to process. Because these models facilitate survival, a cognitive trap opens up. We eventually forget they are abstractions. We mistake our static snapshots for the dynamic world itself. When the landscape shifts, those who remain financially, emotionally, or ideologically chained to their obsolete maps find themselves lost in a territory they no longer recognize. The business world offers a high-stakes look at this phenomenon. When a strategy generates high revenue, it creates a feedback loop that convinces a company its map is a flawless representation of reality. The organization hardens around the model. Meta illustrates the danger of this rigidity. For years, the social graph map, connecting people on public feeds, was their territory. As users moved toward private messaging and short-form video, the company struggled to force a shifting reality to fit that aging model. Microsoft faced a similar plateau. For decades, the company was dogmatically tied to the Windows-first desktop model, essentially ignoring the rise of mobile computing and open-source software. It took a total abandonment of that map under CEO Satya Nadella for Microsoft to recover. By focusing on cloud infrastructure over operating systems, they finally touched the actual territory of modern computing. There is a vital distinction between optimization and adaptation. A company can become efficient at executing a process that is no longer true. High intelligence often accelerates this failure. Smart people use their capacity for logic to build sophisticated, self-defending walls around dead ideas. Jazz pioneer Miles Davis offers a counter-strategy. Over a career spanning 5 decades, Davis acted as a philosopher of reinvention, refusing to become a prisoner of his past masterpieces. Davis viewed success as a curse. He realized that a hit record provides overwhelming evidence that your current model is correct, making you less likely to question it. While most people protect a winning formula, Davis's instinct was to destroy it. The moment a musical style was perfected and praised, he dismantled it to find a new direction. He abandoned the frantic, complex structures of bebop at the height of its popularity, pivoting to chart the relaxed orchestral arrangements of cool jazz. He later destroyed the acoustic purism of his masterpiece modal era, adopting electric instruments and rock rhythms to pioneer jazz fusion. Davis treated success as a provisional guess. To him, the winning map was always subject to disruption by a changing reality. In traditional systems, errors are anomalies to be eliminated. Deviations from the plan are aggressively corrected to ensure that reality conforms to the original map. Davis used the wrong note epistemology. In his world, an error was the primary mechanism for discovery. In a dynamic landscape, a mistake represents empirical data arriving directly from the territory. It is the world telling you that your plan did not account for something. Davis taught his musicians that you cannot fix a wrong note. Instead, the next note you play determines the value of the mistake. This forces the performer to adapt instantly to what is actually happening, rather than what was supposed to happen. Designing a life or an organization around the wrong note creates a system that thrives on chaos rather than being broken by it. These maps dictate how we define our own lives. From childhood, we draw models of ourselves. I am the smart one, I am the victim, or I am the rebel, to navigate our families and peers. These identities start as shields that help us survive social environments. But as our circumstances change, these rigid stories become cages that limit our growth as adults. Much of our psychological suffering is the result of the gap between a messy reality and the pristine expectations of our internal map. We suffer because we protest the world for not following our script. Intelligence is the capacity for logic and abstraction. It allows people to build layered defensive walls to justify beliefs that no longer serve them. Wisdom is the capacity for humility and observation. the willingness to admit the map is wrong. To maintain this wisdom, you must audit your successful maps regularly. Seek direct feedback from the territory and use your wrong notes as the foundation for your next move. To thrive in a shifting world, you cannot remain the prisoner of your own masterpiece. You must cultivate the courage to destroy it.